Hello and welcome to yet another edition of the Full Force News Burst, brought to you by GeneralsJoes Reborn.com, with me as your host, Chris Killer Crossover McLeod, aka Diagnostic 80. Joining me today to talk about the news that G.I. Joe and Cobra characters are being introduced into the new update for the mobile game Transformers Earth Wars is Justin Chundercrackers Bell. So without further ado, let's get stuck into this news burst. Moments ago, news broke on a Transformers Earth Wars live stream that G.I. Joe and Cobra characters will be heading to the popular mobile game in time for the next update. We were treated to a full trailer reveal of the new character inclusions and even got some cool looks at Hound as a G.I. Joe vamp and Soundwave in his SDCC exclusive Hiss Tank styling. The additions are super fun and look to include Duke, Scarlet, Snake Eyes and Hound as a vamp for the Joes, and Cobra Commander, Baroness, Storm Shadow and Soundwave as a Hiss Tank for the bad guys. There were also other characters spotted in the background shots, including Powerglide in his Rattler Red Deco for the Joes, and his blue brother Viper for Cobra. Jetfire also showed up as the Sky Striker, and also a cheeky Night Raven as Skywarp, possibly? We're not sure about that one just yet. This news dropped shortly after we heard a remarkable news story involving the Transformers mobile game and a certain individual who spent over $150,000 in microtransactions. I swear it wasn't me. I did that on the Micro Machines game. So Justin, I just had a look at the kind of the live stream. It goes on for quite a while, but around about the 17-ish minute mark, they showed the trailer, and in the trailer, it's this kind of, it's all the Transformers fighting or whatever, and then all of a sudden this jet transforms. It kind of looks like Skywarp or one of those kind of jets. Hard to, I'm not sure. Obviously the viewers can correct me. And it's got a Cobra sigil on it, and then it zooms in on the Cobra sigil, and then the doors open, and out comes Cobra Commander, Baroness, Storm Shadow, Hiss tanks to them one side, and then like another kind of green tank to the other side of them. They all come out, and then they flip the camera around, and then Duke turns up, and all the G.I. Joe guys are there, and it's Scarlet, Snake Eyes, Hound as a vamp. You've got Jetfire in there, you've got Powerglide, it's brilliant, it's so cool, and obviously Prime, nice. Megatron. Yeah. And I mean, when I saw that, I was kind of like, oh my god, this is amazing. What are your thoughts, just initially, and how random is this as well?
Yeah, it's pretty random, but honestly, I'm really excited. I don't know if you know or not, but I played Earth Wars for a very long time.
Good work.
I gave up a few months ago, but
you'll be picking it back up again.
Yeah, no kidding. I wasn't one of the people who spent $150,000 on it. I will tell you that.
Oh my word, we've got to throw that in there, haven't we? That story was doing the rounds a little while ago, and I was, at one side of things, I was super surprised at that amount. I mean, that's crazy money.
It's nuts.
But at the same time, I can see how addictive these games are. Or not even addictive, but how much the kind of the need is there to kind of pump money into it to get certain things unlocked.
It's unbelievable.
I mean, the Micro Machines game for me was the same thing, not 150 grand's worth, but I pumped about, I don't know, a couple of hundred into that just to get the G.I. Joe stuff.
Yeah, they really... There's this whole industry around these microtransactions that really is kind of skeevy. I mean, I understand the point of, they're developing and offering a free game, so at some point they have to pay for that. So there has to be some sort of transactions that happen somewhere in order to offset development costs and things like that. But there is definitely an element of, keeping up with the Joneses, and you want to, this new character is really exciting. They do all this cool stuff. It's perfect for this part of the game. And, you can grind and you can earn that character over the next 3 months, or, you can just give us $30 and you're going to have it now. I mean, and it's, it's definitely that kind of, you get the urge and feel like, oh, I've got to get this guy. I've got to get this character. And then once in a while, they'll even have these characters that, appear for, this $30 fee or whatever, and then, are gone for several months. So if you really want this character, you have to pay for it, or you're going to have to wait 4 or 6 months before you can, quote unquote, farm it or grind it or do whatever you have to do to earn it, regularly. And, I'm not afraid to drop a couple dollars here and there on a game that I really like. I don't go crazy. Like I said, I don't spend $150,000. I don't even spend, more than, $5 at a time, probably, if that. But, once in a while I'll kick in a little bit of money, but they work that feeling that they really play to the addictive nature of these things. And,
totally.
you want this character that all your friends have and all this stuff. So you got to be a little careful with that, if you're playing these games, and just keep that in the back of your mind, and just realize that you can play for free and have as much fun as you want, and just understand that you're not going to be quite as powerful and as, and have as many characters as your friend who's paying $150,000, but that's okay. I mean, as long as you're having fun and enjoying it.
I have to say, 150 grand, if you haven't completed that game 5,000 times over and got everything that you can possibly get for it, then I'm afraid that it's just, it just shows you how impossible these, to kind of get to any kind of end point in these kind of games.
Well, it's crazy because I play, I mentioned that I don't play Earth Wars quite as much anymore. I do play a game called Marvel Strike Force, which it's a lot of fun and I love it. But there is certainly, there is an element of some of that. And it's funny, I've been playing for a while now, and I've unlocked almost all of the characters. I think I had like 2 more characters to unlock, and I was doing this kind of milestone thing to unlock Phil Coulson, the S.H.I.E.L.D. agent Coulson, as one of the last guys I had to unlock. And, this week there's an update. Oh, that update, there's 5 new characters. So now all of a sudden, there's 5 characters I don't have. And
that's so true.
You can't get wrapped up in it. You just got to have fun and do what you want to do, and enjoy the game for what it is without worrying about competing with somebody else.
Totally. I'm doing the same with Jurassic World Alive, and it's kind of like a Pokemon Go style game, but for for dinosaurs and stuff. And I haven't put a single bit of money into that game, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And the other thing is the same thing happens. Like, I'm getting to the point where I'm like 5 dinosaurs away from finding all of the, not just having them, but finding them all and seeing some of them all, and then another 8 appear, and you're just like, oh, son of a bee. But yeah, that is, I'm doing the long slog type thing. I'm not putting many money into it. I did that with Micro Machines, and I felt like when they cancelled the app and they shut it down, I was kind of like, what a waste of time that is, because now I can't even enjoy the G.I. Joe vehicles. I unlocked 3 of them and had some more to build still, and at that stage I'm like, wow, I've done all of this to get to this point, and they've just basically shut it down, and I was gutted.
And that was the same thing with G.I. Joe Battlegrounds, where I didn't put a lot of money into that, but I spent a little bit here and there, and I liked the cards and the art, and it was all great, and then all of a sudden, it was just gone. It was like, all right, we're pulling the plug. We got nothing to show for any of this.
Surely they should have some sort of archive thing so you can still play the basic game. Do you know what I mean? It just seems really shitty that they just shut it all down and go sorry, and then peace out. Anyway, coming back to this game, one thing I really, really loved seeing in this trailer, not even in the trailer, but they were kind of going through the game and showing the characters and all that kind of stuff that you could be, and selecting Hound and having Duke standing next to him, but Hound is all decked out. He's totally decked out in G.I. Joe garb, and he's a vamp. So when he transforms into robot mode, he's got the vamp gun on his shoulder, and it's just so cool. So, and I love the transformation for him. He's brilliant. And then they also showed the Hiss tank transforming into Soundwave, or vice versa, and Soundwave is with Cobra Commander. And again, where his batteries and shoulder cannon would be, that's what you have. It's basically the San Diego Comic-Con version, the Hiss tank, Soundwave Hiss tank.
Yeah, and Earth Wars in general is just a really fun, it's a fun game.
Yeah.
Like I said, I played that for a while, and I was still enjoying it when I stopped. Actually when I stopped, I had some sort of technical glitch that kind of forced me to abandon. I switched to a new phone or whatever, and they couldn't manage to transfer my account over. So unfortunately, I kind of stopped there. But I think I'll be re-engaging with Space Ape, who's kind of the support company behind it, and see if I can figure out how to get access to that account again. Because when it comes to the G.I. Joe vehicles, I definitely want to pick back up and start playing again.
From what we've seen so far in the trailer, it's all it's Duke, Scarlet, Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, Cobra Commander, Baroness at the moment. So obviously, I'm sure as we go through the updates, which I'm sure there'll be plenty of them, you'll see even more G.I. Joe and vehicles and stuff coming through.
And they'll only cost $30. It's a bargain.
Only $150,000. What I think, I'm excited to see them kind of build on what they've got already, and this is kind of an exciting thing, especially after the G.I. Joe mobile game that hasn't really gone anywhere since we discussed it it a few weeks back.
And the beta version of that is now inaccessible, by the way. I was playing it through an emulator on my PC, and it now no longer works. So
interesting.
I don't know what that means, but
well, maybe this is what they're putting all of their eggs into this basket, effectively.
Perhaps,
yeah. In any case, Justin, thanks for jumping on and shouting at me
absolutely.
very enthusiastically about this.
I'm fired up.
I mean, it's nice, isn't it, to see this kind of stuff pop up every now and again.
Definitely, yeah. I think it's really cool, and that it's happened to dovetail with a game that I've really enjoyed over the years is just a bonus. So I'm loving it.
Awesome. I mean, obviously there are going to be people that aren't into the kind of crossover with Transformers and vice versa, but this is definitely something I'm really excited about, and I will probably be jumping on this as a mobile game now, and hopefully enjoying all of the G.I. Joe stuff that comes through. Any characters and vehicles you're like happy to see kind of done in the who would you like to see in a vehicle wise as a Transformer that turns into a G.I. Joe vehicle?
Oh, well, I mean, any of the kind of Comic-Con stuff, I mean, whether it's the Sky Striker as Jetfire or something like that would be pretty cool. The Rattler as maybe Starscream, or as, Thundercracker, or whoever, Skywarp maybe. I know there was a plane that transformed into Skywarp with a Cobra symbol on it, but anything like that. Or, I don't really want to see an A-10 turn into Powerglide. I'd rather they keep their sides how they are, Cobra with Decepticons and Autobots with G.I. Joe.
It looks like they are doing the red Powerglide version, by the way, because it was they showed a screen cap of like the two factions clashing, and they even said, there's a couple of spoilers on here, and you can see Jetfire and Powerglide on the left hand side at the top, and you can see, I think,
interesting.
I can't remember, you can see on the other side, but I'll flash it up on screen so you guys can have a look as well.
Because I know Powerglide is a character in the game already. I don't know whether they'll like kind of tie him into the G.I. Joe versus Cobra conflict. That'll be interesting to see. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It's an A-10, I could see why they would do that.
Yeah. Anyway, well, Justin, thanks for jumping on, mate. Really appreciate you chatting with me.
Yeah, not a problem.
And enjoy the rest of your day.
You too.
That's it for this installment of the Full Force News Burst. Thank you to my awesome co-host, Justin Bell. See you next time, and as always, full Earth Wars Force.
That's not good.
I know. I haven't had time to write it. Come on, give me a break. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos, and as always you can keep up with the show after listening by following on Twitter @TheFullForce, liking the Facebook page, facebook.com/TheFullForce, and if you would like to contact the show you can message us on either of those platforms with feedback or questions. We have also started a Patreon page, so if you want to see your name up in lights on these videos or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/TheFullForce podcast, or click the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.